Whenever someone is using opioids, whether it's what we consider illicit or just regular use, if the concentration of opiates is too much inside the brain, it sits in specific receptors in the brain, and that's connected to your central nervous system, and it stops your breathing. So it's a depressant, which is why we call that class of medication a depressant or a suppressant, right? And so it stops your breathing, and that's all an opioid overdose is. It's nothing more dramatic than just your breathing slows down and stops. Your heart can still beat for several minutes after your breathing stops, but if you go for too long without breathing, your heart will stop. So there's this window in which if we can get this medication we call Naloxone, and by its brand name it's called Narcan, we can get that into the person's system in enough time, it literally just goes in and it kicks those opioids out of those receptors and breathing can restart. Opioids are the only medication that Naloxone will work on. And so it's an antagonist to the opioid specifically. And so it goes in there and it only targets those specific chemicals and it kicks them out of the receptors so they can't depress the system anymore. And so it restarts breathing. And so that's what happens, is why everybody has them, is because the sooner we can get Naloxone into someone who's experiencing an overdose, the higher the likelihood that person will survive that overdose. It's a very effective medication. Everyone should have it. It should be in the hands of everyone. I worked with a nurse one time who said, you know, the likelihood of me having to deal with an opioid overdose in my own personal life is really low, so I don't want to have Narcan with me. And sure enough, someone had used opioids and had driven their car into the tree in her front yard, and she went outside and recognized it as an overdose, but didn't have Narcan with her. And ever since then, she's like, I carry Narcan with me everywhere I go because of that potential.